Coach, some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens.
Let's go. Set, ready? 60 outlaw.
Here we go, get off the field. Watch
61, matchbox lights. Get it.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential. But I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back. But now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, second-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the first. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Well, first down run with Bell as he'll get about 6 there. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Jarrell Casey able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Big grip.
Back to throw here. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Here we go, set, 30 base. Look at me, go. Here we go. Yo, go.
They'll run for the first time with James Conner. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, Orbit.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
They'll drop the throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Quick dash. Come. Shift.
Now Bell. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here we go. 50. Mike 50.
You draw Corker. Jump by.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long.
Set, ready? 15 line. 15 line.
Tight right. We got 4.
Bravo.
50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. You don't want that.
2.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And they'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Watch safety 3.
Rock it. Ready.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And an alley to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hey, lock it. Go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Squeeze.
Now a give right side. It's Banks. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
But that seems a little devil-may-care there, doesn't it? They gave up 3 points, but how about them coming right back and putting themselves in a position to get points of their own?
Ready. 70, Indy. Hard.
On 1st down, Connor. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Come on, set. 30 base. Leo. Get it.
On 3rd down, it's Connor, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. This from 54 yards away. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 31-yard line.
Let's go now. 8, read.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Check 52. Ready?
On second down now. It's Connor, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. This is Connor. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Hey, high 7.
40's mine.
Go.
Ready? Hey, 40's Mike. 40's Mike right there. 40's Mike.
Smooth.
Mike,
Go.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Steelers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12.
Hey, exit.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Steelers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
They certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. And his kick here is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And the field position doesn't get much better than this. They'll have it 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Check Mike 40. Check Mike 40. Mike 40.
They're going to look to throw. They'll get that one complete to Connor. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Undercrush. Wide. Get wide. Hey, Delta.
They'll try to surge ahead with Connor. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3. 5.
On 2nd down, it's Banks. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Motion, 89, 89. Watch 89. Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Hey, check line 33. He runs.
Deep river.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. They're all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that. Super tough.
They'll run on 1st down. Connor. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, this will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard.
At their own 26-yard line.
Ready to break.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
2nd and 1. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, it's Connor, and he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
And the Steelers first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hard. Leo. Big grip.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now Connor. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Kill.
And to give this time to the tailback. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers have once again taken the lead. Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2.
Go. Pilot, 64, weak.
They'll try and throw for it. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need.
He's got him in, complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 50 yards. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10.
Go.
They'll try the left side. Banks, he's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They start with a give to Connor. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they're trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Come on, set. 70, Indy. Look at me. Door. 6 guys. 80 weapons. Check it out, Rocket. 5.
Again, a run with Connor. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Let's go now. 10-2 stop. Watch the slant. Hey, Hayward. Quit talking about it. I'm waiting. Hey, Mike's 50. Shoot.
Now back to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Here we go. 30 base. Topper. Check 3. Now. Hey, zoom. Check 25. Ready.
On first down, Connor. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 42.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Tight dog. Check 99. Kill.
They'll run on first down. It's Connor. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On the draw, Connor. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out comes the field goal team once more. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one is right through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this third quarter. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. On first down, it's Banks. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Check me out. Check 43.
Yeah.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Banks. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Check. Kill. Turn up.
Get it.
They'll try the left side. Banks. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. He sets to fire deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They'll look to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, Charlie.
Right check 33. You.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
48 Mike. 48 Mike. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Bravo.
Hey, look 48. Look, we're going to make the 48 right now. Let's go.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
Mike, 48. Mike, 48. It's our time. It's our time. Check, 48.
Yeah. Ready?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Come on,
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Leo. Big grip.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Escaping the pressure right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Check hot route.
On 3rd down, it's Banks. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Shift.
Smooth.
He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
All day, every day.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Ravens on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
218, chop.
Check 50.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Banks. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
Pick the edge.
Bam. Snap.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another 1st down. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Now a give right side. Banks. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Banks. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Protein spill. 2.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And now they have taken a 4th quarter lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, exit.
50, Mike 50.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Mike 50, go.
He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only 1 timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. They'll run on first down. It's Banks. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 45-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here.
A loss of 1 brings up 3rd and 8.
We go. 70, Indy.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Hey, let's get in them holes.
Check 26, check 26.
Blue draw quarters.
Check 13.
Check three, check three, check three. Check safety, check safety.
Hit it.
They'll try to left side. Thanks. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is out of bounds up around the 14-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Set, ready, 8, read. Hey, Delta.
Hey, check, check.
Yep. Hey.
Check.
Hey, wahoo. Get it.
They'll look to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3.
Ready, 5.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still... You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Ravens, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.